Hey, what is up guys? It is Rohan here, or sgamingr, and today I have a tutorial for you guys on how to make a cool YouTube background using Photoshop. Now here I have Adobe Photoshop Elements 8, but this will work with any of the Photoshops you have, CS1 through CS5, Elements. It doesn't matter because they are all the same format. So let's start. We're going to start out by making a new file. Just head to file, make a new file. And I think the default, these will be on inches. You're just going to want to click on it and put it on pixels, as pixels are more accurate. And now you're going to get the pixel specs from your computer. I personally use I'm using a 13-inch MacBook Pro right now. So the width is 1280 and the height is around 800, I believe. However, since we're using a YouTube page, it's not 800 exactly. I think it's somewhere around the 2000s. But I'm just going to put it as 1750 because I don't want it to stretch the whole page. And then the resolution, you can put whatever you want. I like using 131. 300 works. I'm just going to put as 131. And you don't need to change the color mode or the background contents. And you can name it whatever you want and go ahead and hit OK. So now we have our picture, our template. Now I'm going to start off by making the background black, as this helps me just see better. You don't have to do this part. Okay, so now YouTube has a format where things are obviously, you guys should already know this, but you have video and things in the middle, such as this. And then you have two sides, where basically that's what we're going to be working on, the two sides. So we're going to be using fonts and be turning them sideways, as obviously you're not going to be able to see right down the middle, but you can see across the sides, and it still looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to the text tool, go to horizontal, and then I'm going to make the text color white. And just type in, for example, sgamingr. Sgaming. Move that over a little bit. R. Just make that a little bigger. Just make the font smaller. Okay, now you might be wondering how I got this font. Well, this is actually a 3D font. It's not on the original font book for Macs or PCs. So in order to get this font, you're going to have to download it, obviously. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You're going to want to go to this link. I'll put the link in the description. Urban Fonts, and they have a bunch of really cool fonts, ranging from 3D to Western. And you can choose whatever font you like, whatever font you want on your YouTube page. I personally I like the, in the 3D section, I like Astron Boy Wonder. Blockbuster, you can head over if you're like emo to gothic. They have Abaddon, it's pretty cool. If you want all this like ancient writing, I don't know. Whatever you want. But anyway, once you find a font you like, I'm just gonna use Blockbuster as an example. You're just gonna head over to download, and then just double click the TTF file, or if it's in a folder, just open up the folder and then double click the TTF, and then font book will come up, and then you're just gonna want to install it to your font book so that this recognizes it in Photoshop. So that is it, and I'm just going to quit out of font book and head back to Photoshop. So now you might have to restart your Photoshop to get the fonts to come up, but the fonts will come up once you do that. And then just going to go to the drop down menu at the top left here, select the font you want. I guess they didn't, because I have Blockbuster here. Anyway, just going to select the font you want and type whatever you want to type. Now we're going to have to rotate this. So you're just going to go down to the bottom right corner. You see an arrow, one going up, one going to the left, and that'll allow you to rotate it. Now I'm going to move it across the side this way. You can do it this way also. I personally like to use this way. And then I'm going to hold shift and that'll make that straight. And then I'm just going to drag this over to the side. And stretch this out a little bit so it looks a little better on the YouTube page. Now this is actually going to cut a lot into the video part of the YouTube page. So you're going to want to compress that in. It looks a little stretched right now, but it's going to look fine on the YouTube page. Now, if you want to put something on the right, same thing, horizontal type tool. I'm just going to type in gaming, just as an example. Curve it, and hold shift, make that straight. And remember, you can always use vertical fonts. I personally just like to use horizontals, it looks cooler. And you can change the colors of the text if you want. You know, make one red, one blue. But that doesn't matter. You can always just play around with that later. And so now, if you want a background, just a normal background, as if like one off Google, you can just go to Google and search up anything. I just searched up lightning bolt for an effect here. Take that to your desktop and open it up. So right here, and then just take the cursor tool and drag that in. Then you're just gonna resize it to whatever you want. I'm not really making anything proportional here. And hit OK. The quality should be better after that. And then you're just gonna save it. So I'm just gonna save it. You know, want to click as a copy, and then go down to JPEG. Gonna just make this YouTube background, and finish saving it. Now you have to do quality options, and this is an important part. YouTube only accepts 256K. That's a lie. They can accept up to 450. I've done it before. And 591 is not going to work. So quality, let's change that down to 9. I think that's going to work. Then I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. Remember though, background images, the YouTube codecs are really crappy, so the background image won't be as good. It doesn't matter. This is only if you want a background image. I'm going to show you a cooler method right after this. So there is the background image. It looks pretty good. You can't see it. You can't see it that well, but the quality is really crappy. Maybe you can see it right off this tree here where my mouse is. And you can always stretch that longer, make the thing bigger. But anyway, that's just putting a background. I'm going to show you how to do gradients. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer. Okay, now the first step is to make a background gradient. So you're gonna click on the background layer and go to create a new layer and go to this little half circle thing and head to gradient. Now I'm gonna make this a linear. Just keep this as linear for now, because this is first just a background thing. Sorry. And then go to the colors. Now you can choose whatever colors you want. These are the presets. I like to make my own. So I do like their whole the black effect right here. You know, you can change the lighting, make that a little like that. I'm gonna change this actually to red, as this is killing my red on the top of the sgamingr part. And you can always do multiple colors. However, keep in mind that's not gonna look as great. So I think I like that. I'm gonna keep it. I'm actually gonna exchange the red and the white here, and I like it as like that. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. You're gonna go ahead and hit OK again, and go to new layer and create another gradient. This time you're gonna go to the style and put that down on diamond. Now you can change the angle however you want. I'm gonna keep this right here, just regular 90. Go ahead, hit OK. Sorry, keep doing that. Click on the color and change around the color to whatever you want. So I personally, this is just too plain for me. I'm gonna go ahead and make this is not exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make the colors that I want in there. So I'm gonna do white black, blue, and a red. Now I'm going to mess around with it. So I think I'm going to want the red in the middle as a dot, sort of like that. And then surrounded by the black. Make the red a little bigger, make that a little more prominent. Now the white is way too prominent right now. So I'm going to reduce that a little bit. And as you can see, this has a nice blur effect right here. That's the one thing I like about making the diamond. So now that that has that effect, I'm going to put something behind the white actually, like a muted gray color. Move that a little back. This will mix with the red a little bit in the background, create some sort of orangey effect. However, one thing to remember is that YouTube has bad color. The color quality will look pretty bad. I'll show you an example. This is a background I made. As you can see, this is this sort of resembles like a brownish color right here along the inner ring. However, when I put it on YouTube, it's going to darken that, and that's just going to look nasty. So right here, there we go, and it's just going to darken that and make it look more brownish, mutish, and that resembles something which I don't want on my page. So I'm actually going to get rid of this gray now that I can see that YouTube will try their best to thwart that color. And move this a little back behind the yellow. Get the blue into the white, coming into the white. I want to stretch the blue out a little bit because I don't want to make the yellow that prominent. And basically, now you're just going to want to fine edge the top. The top part's the part that no one really pays that much attention on, so you can just put any amount of colors you have here. Just kind of mess around. See, I like a nice green shade, nice neon green, and I think I like that. You're gonna go ahead and hit OK. Now another new layer. Back to gradients, style, radial. Click on the color. Now what radial does is basically it pronounces effect over the diamond, which is what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the colors I want: blue, black, white, red. I think I'm gonna take a muted sort of blue. Okay, now let's start by making this. I'm gonna have a black dot in the middle, and I think a white there looks good. Put the blue outside. There. I'm not going to do too much to it. I don't want to butcher it completely. Because remember, there's still some effects after this, which I'm just going to completely make it look a lot better. I'm going to see what time I have here. What time has been elapsed? 13 minutes. That's a fair amount of time. So let me hurry this up. So let's say I just want it like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. That's the second time I've done that. New layer, and instead of going to gradient this time, we're going to go to hue and saturation. Now you can make the saturation whatever you want. Really color it up. Kill the color. I'm going to go ahead and make it around a 40. 50. Lightness. You can make it seem as if it's coming in from the top. I kind of like that. Another new layer. This time I'm going to go to levels. You can mess around with the levels, make it darker on the top. I personally want it lighter on the top and darker on the bottom. Darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. Butchered that sentence again. Now you're going to go to new and brightness contrast. Now the contrast will change the lighting also. And the brightness, that's for your own personal. I'm going to go back to sgamingr and actually change the colors now. make this sort of black. Go ahead and make this this black also. Now, still haven't finished this one. Red. I'm going to reverse that actually. Red, blue. And make that, and then just stretch up these a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and actually change this. Now let's say I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and save that as a JPEG. Replace. And quality 10 looks good. So I'm just going to choose the file now. When you're on your YouTube page, this should detect. Yup, and there it is, sgamingr. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out these guys' channel. And that's about it. So have a good day.